This is a resume review of a backend engineer, which, based on my quick glance, I'm going to assume is a full stack position. So for a full stack position, we are going to need TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, any cloud, GCP, AWS, etc., Azure, anything with SQL, Angular, React. Agile is a bonus, and then there's going to be an extra language or one or two extra things, which is really going to depend, but it's usually going to be like Python and Node. A lot of times Node isn't the very top, but sometimes it's an extra, which is interesting to me. But so let me review this resume based on that. First off, it is two columns, and I do not like that. I am a US based recruiter, so this resume might have been sent to me from not in the United States, but they also had a picture in the top right corner, which is not good. We don't want pictures. There's no need to have those. And yeah, there's two columns, which makes it much harder to read. So, first off, let's go to this column, which is doesn't give me anything. This is just a blurb. I understand there's AWS and Python and Node, and those are some of the keywords, but there's a large chance that it is going to get lost in that hustle of that big blurb. The bullet points are important. So, spearheaded a critical project for leading client into impactful results. Okay, cool. You don't show me how you did that, so that doesn't matter. And then also the painting is very teeny for this, but let's see, ATL, Rust, and Python. That's good. We have at least Python infrastructure. Da da da. Nothing. 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 Python API. I forgot API. API is on there too. Should be on there. Yeah, I don't see almost anything. I only see the words Python and API and nothing else about it. Let's see. Then this one is good, actually. Node.js TypeScript has it. So this is actually a very good sentence, and I like this. But it's likely that a recruiter may not even get that far because they have to read through all of this, which gives them nothing, and all of this, which also gives them nothing. So, and AWS is good. Like this is solid, truthfully. These two right here are alone are very good sentences, but everything else isn't, and they're buried. Uh, and I'm just quickly scanning it because recruiters really only have about 15-30 seconds to look at it. And I don't see anything else. So I don't know if I'd move forward with this. Probably not because the market's saturated, especially for a remote role. I feel like you could definitely find other resumes with this. And if a recruiter misses this, it would be tough. But you do have some of the right keywords. I think what you thought the keywords were are correct. Those are right. You just buried them. In addition, this goes to all candidates across all levels. I see this in like customer service resumes and everything else. Don't don't do these little five dots. They mean absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I despise these. You can say proficient in or something like that, but like these little dots don't mean anything. I've seen these dots in a lot of resumes. I do not know why that's popular. They mean nothing. Like does this two dot mean that you are not see because this says intermediate, but to me two dots reads below average, but that's not correct. So I hate those dots. Yeah, so probably wouldn't move you forward if I didn't have a lot of candidates. I would have more of a chance to look this over and I may move you forward, but yeah, it's just the you buried the lead on the good bullet points. Your second job has some solid bullet points, but it's possible they're not going to get there. And the two column format makes it way worse. So that's my review on it. And please, single column, no triple dot, blue dot things. I hate those so much. So yeah, that's the review for this. This is another full stack engineer position. So I can use basically the same keywords as the last part, which is going to be right here: TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Cloud, AWS, all that good stuff. So summary: I'm a full stack engineer with 3 years of experience and a background in DSML. I don't know what the DS is. I assume the ML is machine learning. I have a track record of building business growth for ML based SaaS, building architecture using okay, cool. I don't, it doesn't, this can probably be deleted. I mean, you were correct on the right keywords, which I think is very good, but this doesn't really give anything. Like, so I'm going to dig into this part a little bit more, right? Like, I don't need you to tell me you are a full stack engineer with 3 years of experience. I need to see it through here. I need to see that a software engineer is here. I need to see it through here. I need to see through the bullet points that you have those types of things. So saying this summary is not useful. And I would say the only time a summary is usually useful, unless you're doing a very, very higher end position, like like a CEO, not CEO, but like CTO, high vice president, VP type position, is unless you are something is critically wrong in your actual resume, like you are a baker. Or you are have an entire resume that says all about full stack engineering, and you were applying for a baking job. Then I would need a summary of why you were doing that. But otherwise, unless you're changing industries or there's something critically off about your resume, you don't need a summary because this doesn't tell me anything about you. It doesn't show me anything about you. Because this is good. You got the right keywords, but I need them here. So, redesigned database. Okay, I know grammatically people shouldn't fully trust me, but like, shouldn't it be redesigned a database? But maybe that's a industry thing that's different. And REST API endpoints for consumer-facing platforms, PostgreSQL and Express. That's not bad. I like that bullet point. I think you could have more of your languages in there. Like you just said, instead of redesign, you just redesigned a database in X, Y, like Python and whatever with REST APIs would be better. Also, I've not seen express as an actual keyword. This is the problem of people bolding, is they usually don't bold the correct things. So, developed the universe root helpers data redundancy. Okay, that's fine. Data structures was shootable down. Okay. Developed dashboard to React Node Postgres. This one's fine. Created a React Compline KPI. Okay, I don't. Postgres is being reduced by 50%. Okay, cool. This doesn't read fully like a full stack resume. So, my issues with this is it doesn't really have a lot of what I'm looking for. You have REST APIs, which is good, REST APIs, same thing. You have SQL, but I'm missing almost everything else. Oh, React and AWS is way down here. So that's my biggest problem is these are the correct, yeah, like basically this is the correct keywords that I want. And just you need these. You need this right here in the bullet points. I need to know what tech stack that is. I need you to pepper your resume with those. Um, because otherwise it doesn't give me what I need. Like built automated data monitoring using what? What did you use to build that? Tracking country redoing actionable insights that drove a 15% increase. That means nothing, right? Like a 15% increase in feature adaptation that is based on actual insights that may mean stuff to people that are technical about it, but like the non-technical managers and recruiters are not going to understand that. What you could say instead is build X and Y, whatever, that got kudos from my manager for increasing feature adoption. Because it doesn't matter if you know what feature adoption is, you know that if your boss says they like it and they told you it increased stuff, that's solid. So that is my problem with this. I don't think I would probably move forward because yeah, it's just there's a year here, there's like a couple of months here, and a year-ish here. Like it's honestly okay, yeah, two here. So yeah, I don't think I would move forward with this. It really, again, this is going to depend on how many applicants. Like, if there were 3 applicants in this position, yeah, I could see this resume moving forward. If you got 150 applications, I don't have enough bullet points and I don't have enough keywords. The manager may come back and say, "Hey, I don't see enough Python, or I don't see enough TypeScript, or I don't see enough cloud." So I need these keywords and I need you to stop bolding because this is not one of them. So again, it's going to depend on intake of how many people we get, but probably not going to move forward with this one. So oh, this might be the highest level of resume I have received. And I will be perfectly frank with you. Uh, this might be beyond what I've done before. I don't typically do resume reviews or have worked on a lot of CTO type positions. I've done like associate VPs and stuff, but it may be the case that this review is not exactly correct, so take it with a grain of salt. I just want to be honest with you. And again, I think it is important to know when things may be beyond my knowledge. But based on what I was able to find, they're going to be looking for a couple of things. So they want to see ideally how you solved problems. They also want to know a generalized knowledge of the industry, or if you're a subject matter expert. So in this case, it would be like IT. They also want to know, this is going to depend on the roles. Some roles are going to be hands-off management. Some roles are going to be hands-on management. I actually recently worked on a hands-off management position. So, and hands-on, hands-off is sort of like leading from the front or leading from the back, because sometimes they're going to need you to roll up your sleeves and do the stuff yourself, or you're going to be more of a manager. So it's going to depend on which roles you're applying for and your past history. So that's just going to depend. And then the actual management stuff, because you still need to do this, is going to be that you fired, that you have how you solved a problem with the resources you're given, including the people, and that you were under budget and ahead of schedule. So, saying that, and that again, this might be beyond what I've done before, I'm gonna dig into this resume. So, this is the case where the summary isn't potentially bad. Let's see. We have experience with digital products, programming, ordering, hands-on approach, story, career developing SaaS platforms, e-commerce, highly skilled in executive board. Okay, so I don't think this is bad idea. This is one of the few times, because at this level a summary isn't bad, because it's a different thing than an IC position, which is individual contributor. But I think it can be shortened. I still don't think you need all of this, but I do think you should have some of these, right? So instead of saying pragmatic and results in this, it says with over 2 decades of experience with hands-on approach to delivering complex tech architectures and award-winning mobile apps, right? Like you could shrink this. I basically want this to be one sentence. Uh, but also, if you have a summary and a key achievements, I don't know if you need both. Truthfully, I would probably take out the summary and instead keep the key achievements. That would be what I would suggest doing. So, develop and support of the world's last hatch of protein surgery globals. See, this is good. I like this. Um, led development of the SaaS mobile platform, providing sales, marketing, customer engagement capabilities to global businesses, 10 million users worldwide. So, you have two that are SaaS, and remember, what we're going to be looking for is this. It developed. So I think I feel like these are both sort of the same, right? I think I prefer the second one, truthfully, even though it has less amount of people, but it does so that you provide sales, marketing, customer service, engagement capabilities. Like, right, it gives you a little bit more. Design and develop the first platform for automatic aftermarket using embedded touchscreen mobile and cloud technologies. Again, these are sort of all the same sentence. Like when I want a key achievements and a summary in this, I don't want them all to be the same, right? Like this one right here is another one. This is good. This is different. Like directed global teams of 300 plus resources with 100 plus budget building an e-commerce platform. Truthfully, I think that is the best bullet on there. Um, I do like the obsessed, but like I want some other stuff. Like I don't just want, like, how did you solve the problem, right? Came into something that was underperforming, and with your leadership you took it to perform something, right? Because these are all almost the same. uh the this one is the best, I personally think. But I need other stuff, right? Like, how did you know about IT, which led to a success? How did you, or technology I should say, not just IT, how were you handled a budget, and then succeeded under ahead of schedule? How did you get a team of 3 and then you built it to a team of 10, which delivered a product, right? So these 3 are sort of the same, and the fourth is better. I just think you need different, and that's kind of my issue right here. Is these all almost says the same thing. So, um, leadership, team lead, talent recruitment. Okay, these aren't terrible. I'm not a huge fan of them, but my biggest issue right now, and also don't worry about the name. This is a fake name. That is better. I'm 90% sure, because everything else here is fake. So that is a fake name. So this right here is all, like, that's my problem. This entire thing, this is the best. Because it shows that you did a e-commerce platform, you did it with a budget, and you built it with a global team. And let's go into the actual bullet points, because I've kind of pontificated about everything else too much, but it's it's just sort of the same, and I need the others right here. So, digital agency, specialized product architecture, lead development team, mobile apps, migrated platforms. No. What's your rate of interview with this? I actually need to check. 80 to 1. Yeah, that's about what I expect. Um, so because you do have some of the keywords, but it's not, I guess, tight enough on the resume, right? It could be condensed. Reporting to, let's see, this one's solid. Hired a team. Yeah, this is a good one. I like this one. Budget and led engineering efforts to cyber led development platform. Okay, that's whatever. Java's really to increase productivity. This is the time you actually can use that. So like this is very solid sentence. You have a couple of solid sentences, but everything else isn't that much. Uh, yeah, like hired to build and scale a team. That's good. Uh, yeah. So like it's. I don't think this is a bad resume. I just think you're sort of repeating the same information a lot, and again, like this is a phenomenal sentence because it showed that you were able to directly communicate with a CEO and board of directors, which are the important things. You were hired to scale the team to 25. You managed a budget and you led engineering efforts for a new cybersecurity platform. If anything, I want to see the success of this, right? Because this is a super solid bullet. So is this. So everything else is nice, but I don't really I feel like it's just sort of saying the same thing again and again. You need to show me how you did this. You cannot just tell me you did it. But I will say, in regards to this little tech stack thing right here, I think that's fine for this position because, again, you're not necessarily going to be doing the coding yourself, but you do show that you've worked with that. So I can understand why you've gotten some interviews with this, but I think it can just be a lot more efficient, is the problem. It looks like you've done some crazy good stuff. It's just you're kind of burying it under here because, like, I have to get to this, right, to really see some of the good stuff. And I feel like they may be missing that. So that would just be my thing for this to recap is just which is this video is super long. Sorry, just make sure it is clearer and more concise and has a little bit more of how you solve the problem because you're telling me you're not showing me. So, but I hope this was helpful. If everybody likes this video, which I hope you do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because that algorithm is brutal and that is how I survive on this thing. So, thank you very much.